A lot of fun because we're excited. We've got great football on the way. My name's Kay. We've got Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, and Kyle Brandt all here with a big show. I'm sure you're excited, Kyle, to talk to James Robinson. What a breakout player this year.
James Robinson, an incredible running back for the Jaguars, and our favorite thing about him is that he had about 26,000 yards in his senior year of high school alone. We may have to ask him about that.
We will. You guys can tweet our show at GMFB. Oh, you're kind of sitting in your seat now.
I'm backed up. Yeah, people get real nervous. They get shook when I sit like this, so I'm going to do it for the rest of the show. This is where I live. I wouldn't live life here, Peter. If it's hot, I want to touch it.
Living on the edge. Lead block.
Lead block. On the edge.
Let's do it. Yeah. The road to Super Bowl 55, guys, continues this weekend. It's the divisional round. We call it the throwdown round here on the show. The momentum is building. Pressure is at an all-time high, and we've got 8 teams looking to punch their ticket to the championship Sunday. Divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. The action kicks off Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And for the latest on the Saturday night game, that one's up in Buffalo. Let's send it out to someone who knows Western New York very well, Kim Jones.
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are part of the same draft class in 2018. A year ago, their teams played, and Lamar's Ravens won by 7. And now on Saturday, they meet again, with a spot in the AFC Championship game at stake. It's clear Allen has a lot of respect for Jackson.
He's just one of those special guys that obviously they've been having success. He's had a lot of success so far early in his career, and I root heavily for him, just knowing what he went through his first year and how he's been able to do it and how humble and how awesome he is off the field. He's just one of those guys you root for, and it's hard to not root for him when you're playing against him. But we're enemies on Saturday, and we both know that. But he's just one of those guys. Again, I can't say enough about just how good of a dude he is, and makes you love him that much more on the field.
Bills defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier summed up the Lamar challenge by saying this: gotta watch the tight ends, gotta tackle well in space, and you have to go into this understanding that tape doesn't do Lamar Jackson justice.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Can we talk a lot about the quarterbacks? We dish out love nonstop. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, both of them. Let's talk about some of the non-headliner, non-marquee names that might make a difference here. Who's the non-quarterback that could decide this game, Shrakes?
I think this is going to be a great game, maybe the game of the weekend, and I think it's going to be one of these where every possession in the second half is going to have so much importance because I think it's going to go back and forth, and I think Cole Beasley plays a huge role. Cole Beasley's work last Saturday got a little bit overdone this week because no one was talking about the early Saturday game in a first of 6 games.
Right.
Cole Beasley played with basically I'll say it like couldn't walk all week.
Okay.
Or like his knee is barely able to. I don't know if he's going to go. And I talked to all the Bills sources, and they're like, Diggs is going to play. I can't tell you about Cole.
Yeah.
Cole's knee is so messed up right now.
He looked miserable.
He looked miserable.
He did.
And every time, look at that. Every time they needed a big play in this game, it was Cole Beasley. And it was over the middle. Look how long it takes him to get up after this pass. Mm-hmm. He needs Devin Singletary to lift him. His knee is so banged up, is so hurt, that they were wondering whether he was going to be all right for this week. And yet Cole Beasley went out there last week, had 7 catches, 57 yards, moved the chains every single time, did exactly what they did. I think he's the best slot receiver in all of football. I think he is the biggest difference maker in this game that is a non-quarterback, because I do believe Stephon Diggs is going to have a battle with Marcus Peters or Marlon Humphrey, and that might create an opportunity for the slot to get involved. Patrick Queen might be the one covering him. You might see some safety help. Yeah. Who knows? It might be Chuck Clark inside, but Cole Beasley will get his. And I think it happens typically in the second half in big spots. I can't be more impressed with someone's toughness than what I saw from Cole Beasley last week. If he can walk, he's going to play, and he did it amazingly last week.
What a story. Yeah. It's incredible to watch, but it segues perfectly where I'm going. Nate, you would appreciate this in particular. There are great corners, even Hall of Fame corners, who I don't think are ball hawks. They're really good at covering receivers. And then there's just straight up ball hawks. And that's why I'm calling out Marcus Peters, one of the guys who might be covering Cole Beasley or might be covering Stephon Diggs. If Josh Allen makes a big mistake in this game, and he might, I think it's going to be to Peters. Marcus Peters has been in playoff games before. Marcus Peters has had interceptions in playoff games before. This is Brian Hoyer, 2015 while he was with the Chiefs. Chiefs won this game 30-0. There's Marcus Peters, and don't sleep for a second after the pick. Like, he has big return capability. This play goes on for about 3 minutes, and he still is returning the thing. He's done it again. Marcus Peters will go and get it. If Josh Allen's looking to Diggs, he's trying to get one to Smokey Brown, it might be a Marcus Peters moment. Let's move ahead. This is the game, the Marcus Mariota game. Remember this? Peters jumped this one. Later, Mariota would throw a touchdown pass to himself off of Darrelle Revis. and the Chiefs would lose by 1 point. And then last week, you still didn't count out the Titans. No. Ryan Tannehill makes the biggest mistake of his season. Guess who gets him? Oof. Peters again. It's not just he talks, he's got the energy. Marlon Humphrey is their best cover corner. Marcus Peters is their ball hawk, and if I'm Josh Allen, I'm being very careful I throw it anywhere in the vicinity. Don't be surprised if Peters grabs one.
And it's not just interceptions. He'll also strip that ball out really good around the runners. When everybody's hitting the running back or the tight end, he'll just sneak up and just yank that cord and try to rip the ball out. For me, it's Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
You know, he had some moments this year where he was dropping the rock, and we criticized him. I criticized him being a wide receiver, and I remember some months back he sent out a tweet and was like, what's the point of having soldiers if you're not going to use them, which is a quote from a movie, and he's basically saying, throw me the ball. They started throwing the ball, and he made some mistakes, but as of lately, he's been cooking. There's game breakers all over the place when it comes to this game. We know the Bills got him. Stephon Diggs, you can call him the best receiver in the game. John Brown back in the lineup. You mentioned Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis. I mean, sheesh. They got playmakers.
Isaiah McKenzie.
They got guys that can make plays. This is their individual. This is their game break. This is the dude that can take the top off the coverage and open up everything for this offense. And here's the thing. You don't have to catch everything. All I need to see in the beginning of the game is him streaking down the middle of the field, backing up that defense. Just take a shot. I don't care if it lands. I don't care if he catches it. I don't care if he drops it. But the fact that you do that early, that opens up that defense. It gives you the ability to call more plays that can use the talents of your wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. So for me, it's Marquise Hollywood Brown. And with the way he's playing, I do feel like he's going to step up and make plays. He's not just going to move the chains, but expect a big play down the middle of the field and a touchdown for Marquise.
The more I look at this game and hearing you talk about corners and I think Stephon Diggs is such a problem, but I think he's going to run into some trouble because of Marcus Peters and the guy you're talking about, Marcus Peters, forcing fumbles. Nobody's done it better than Marlon Humphrey this year. He has 8 guys, 8 all season long, leading the league. He's a turnover machine. That's the second most a DB has forced in the last 30 years. Only Peanut Tillman has had more in a single season. Turnovers are extra important in the playoffs, as we all know. I don't think he's going to shut Diggs down.